Welcome to all of you on the Talent 50 YouTube channel. I am Satyen Singh in front of you here, and this is the second topic of the silent feature of the Indian Constitution. And this the means you can say the second part. First part I have discussed with you, and this is the second part. By this previous year question, I am going to understand which topic is the most important and on which topic we should have more consider. Here is the some amendment, the question based on the some amendment. Question number 1, second part of the silent feature of the Indian Constitution. Here is the question based on the 44th amendment, and you know the in the 42nd amendment the many powers of the court and many powers of the uh, other institution by the Indian government limits that powers. The question number first is here. The Constitution 44th Amendment renumbered as 43rd Amendment, means 44th Amendment is called also renumbered as the 43rd Amendment, but the name is the 44th Amendment. Here is the some option and which option is right. In these type of the question, we should know in the 44th Amendment how many important things are happened, means have happened. So first of all, we should know the 44th Amendment 1978. Here was the government of the Morarji Desai after the election, means after the emergency came election and the Morarji Desai government came in the rule. Then 44th Amendment happened. In 44th Amendment, the most important point are here, and you should know also about that. I am telling to you. The restore the original term of the Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly 5 years. Because in the 42nd Amendment, the term of the Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly have increased. Means you can say the 6 years. But in the 44th Amendment, the time of the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly came in a same time period, means 5 years. The second happened, replaced the term internal disturbance with the armed rebellion concerning the national emergency. In the 1975, the emergency imposed on the internal disturbance. Internal disturbance, how can you define the internal disturbance? Anytime any person say there is the internal disturbance, there is no any type of the base. So the Janata Party government, mean the Morarji Desai government, by the 44th amendment, the point happened that the armed rebellion will be the base of the emergency at the place of internal disturbance, means armed rebellion came on the place of internal disturbance. And the third, made the president declare a national emergency only on the cabinet written recommendation, means if there is going to be imposed emergency, then the cabinet written recommendation should be, not only the oral recommendation. Are you getting or not? Because the cabinet system should be responsible. All the cabinet ministers should be responsible. So, and the fourth important, deleted the right to property from the fundamental right, made it a legal right. And I can say that by the 42nd amendment, Indira Gandhi government, right to property throw on the ventilator, and the Morarji Desai government also removed from the ventilator, means death. Means you can say here the right to property became a legal right. 42nd amendment also, the right to property was not the fundamental right. And fifth, provided that during a national emergency, fundamental right guaranteed by Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended, because these are the most important fundamental right. So Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended in the emergency. We should know that, because the many type of the question may become. Restore some of the powers of the Supreme Court and High Court. Restore the power of the Supreme Court and High Court. By the 42nd Amendment, the power of the Supreme Court and High Court, of the power of the Supreme Court and High Court limits. Means the government want to at that time that the Supreme Court and High Court should be in the limit. Means if there is any law made by the Parliament, then the Supreme Court and High Court cannot observe and that law, that this is followed by legal procedure, or here is any type of the disturbance of the fundamental right. So here is the most important, that restore some powers of the Supreme Court and High Court. 7. Made certain procedural safeguard with respect to the President rule and national emergency. And here is my question is, ensure the right to property. The 44th amendment, renumbered as the 43rd amendment, ensure the right to property, wrong. Ensure the press freedom, wrong. Limit the powers of the government to the proclaim national emergency, no, wrong. And here is the D, restore the High Court and to the Supreme Court their jurisdiction to consider the validity of any central or state law. You should know that restore the High Court and to the Supreme Court their jurisdiction to consider the validity of any central or state law. Means here is the any law made by the center or the state, here is the validity or not. The Supreme Court and High Court consider on that validity. So the option number D is your right answer. Are you getting or not? Means we can say this is your right answer by the 44th amendment. So now we should know the question number 2nd. Now next question number 2nd. This question also based on the 44th amendment, and the option is here, that means the question 44th amendment of the Constitution speaks of, means what tells the 44 constitutional amendment, means which option will be the right according to the 44th amendment. Means you should know the first thing, that the right to property was no longer on the 44th amendment, because the Indira government in the 42nd amendment, Indira Gandhi right to property removed from the fundamental right, but it was on that, not fundamental right. Means you can say according to the 42nd amendment, fundamental right was on the ventilator, but 44th amendment, Morarji Desai government, means you can say the Janata Party government, dead to the have died to the right to property, and right to property became the here right to property became the here a legal right. So deleted the right to property from the fundamental right and made it legal right in the 44th Amendment 1978. So read the option. The right to property as no longer a fundamental right. This is the your right answer, and some more options is here. So read it also to know about this. Suspension of the individual liberty during emergency, not according to the 44th Amendment. You should know that provided that that during a national emergency, the fundamental guaranteed by Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended. Means in the national emergency, Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended by the 44th Amendment 1978. Because in the 42nd Amendment, in the Indira Gandhi government, on the emergency, all the fundamental rights have suspended. So the 44th Amendment, Janata Party government here by the 44th Amendment said that the fundamental right 20 and 21 cannot be suspended during a national emergency. Are you getting or not? Because during the emergency period, so lots of the leaders were in the jail and their fundamental right have been suspended totally. So here this is not right. And the varying the code from the interfering dispute regarding the election of the prime minister, not, this is also wrong. Giving more importance to the directive principle over fundamental right. You should know that these things was happened. These things was happened 42nd Amendment. There were that the DPSP will be the more dominated on the fundamental right, because the Indira Gandhi government also gave the remove poverty, means a slogan, you can say in a Hindi, Garibi Hatao. All the governments come on the slogan of remove the poverty, but they remove the poor people also. And at the present time, you can see the rate of the cylinder is going so high, and this government came on to the low price of the cylinder, that there will be no inflation and more job. So what is happening? You can see this is the strategy of the government to come on the slogan of poor people, welfare of the poor people, but after came in the government, they do the work for the rich people, and the poor people going to be more and more poor. So that we are going to solve the question, and giving more importance to the directive principle over fundamental right. It was on the 42nd Amendment, not in the 44th Amendment. You should know that. So this is also wrong. Your option A is your right option. Are you getting or not? So now we should know the next question. Now let us see the question number 3rd. The question number 3rd tells, this is the basic question based on the Constituent Assembly, that the member of the Constituent Assembly were, means elected, selected, and which type. You have to say that. Elected by the provincial assemblies, elected directly by the people. So you should know that at time there was no election process by the people. You should know. At this time it's going to happen, not at that time. So this option is wrong. Nominated by the government, this is also wrong. and only representative of the princely state. The only is wrong if in your question any type of the subject is there is the only. So be careful, because 99.9% that type of the question is extremely options, and extremely options cannot be your answer in a general point of view. So let us see the some detail of that. The total membership of the Constituent Assembly was 389. In the 389, 292 representative of the provinces and elected by the provincial assemblies, means provincial assemblies, representative of the provinces elected by the provincial assemblies. 292 total, the total number of 389 of the 292, means there was 292 of the 389, means this figure 292 figure a representative of the provinces, and a representative of the provinces were elected by the provincial assemblies, and 93 represented by the princely state. Princely state, the state of the princes, means you can say king, raja, maharaja, like that. So here is the only representative of the princely state, not. This is the wrong extreme option, and here is the elected by the provincial assemblies, and here is given also. So this is your right answer. If you want to know some more information about the membership of the Constituent Assembly, then you should know 292 represent of the provinces elected by the provincial assemblies, and 93 represented by the princely state, and 4 from the chief commissioner provinces as Delhi, Ajmer, and some other. So this was your question number 3. Now let us see the question number 4. Now let us see the question number 4. The 45th amendment means 45. Amendment number of the 45 means the 45th amendment to the Indian Constitution relate to means here is the some options in front of you, and which option is right. Then you should know the important point. By the 45th amendment, this was done in the 1980, and 1980, after the 10 years, the reservation of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes time to time increase the time period. So by the 45th amendment, the reservation of the extended the time period of reservation of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and Anglo-Indians. Here is the something that seats for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and representation of Anglo-Indians in the Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly. These things are happened in the 45th amendment, means, so please revise that in the 45th amendment, the extended the time period for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes on the point of view reservation, and also the Anglo-Indians in the Lok Sabha and also in the State Legislative Assembly. So, and the time is given up to 26 January 1990. After that also extended the time, but now at this time this thing is not. at the present time, the Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly, the number of Anglo-Indians. This provision have been deleted by the Modi government. Means you can see. Here is the option. The 45th amendment to the Indian Constitution relate to Minority Commission? No, wrong. Commission for the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes? No. Extension means extended the time period. Extension of reservation of seats for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. So this is your right answer. Here, extension of reservation of seat. Extension of reservation of seats for the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. This is your right answer, and none of the above. This is your wrong also. So you should know. Here is the read this. The 45th Amendment to the Indian Constitution, officially known as the Constitution Act 1980, extended the period of reservation of seats for the seats. In the political point of view, you should know that there were so many seats, and at this time also there are so many seats reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. On that seat, party may be different, but the caste of scheduled caste or the scheduled tribes will be same. Means the candidate will be the scheduled tribes or the scheduled caste. Party may be the different on that seat. You should know in the Delhi also on the West Delhi seat, and there is the seat of the SC. So the every 5 years in the Lok Sabha election on that seat, the person who will be the candidate of the Lok Sabha will be the SC. Are you getting or not? So this is the point of view. And at that time also the Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly Anglo-Indians, means Anglo-Indians will be in the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assembly. This is also worth as a type of reservation, but at this time this is not in the constitution and this is not presented, means this is not in the behavior. So your answer is C. Are you getting or not? So now we will see the next question. Now let us see the question number 5th. The question number 5th is the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution contains. In the 8th schedule, initially in the Indian Constitution there were the 18 languages, and after that later 4 more languages were added. So here is your option. Fundamental right is wrong. Directive principle, this is wrong. A list of 18 languages recognized by the Constitution, and later 4 more languages were added. Are you getting or not? So your right option is C. And the number of state union territory, this is wrong. So this question is based on the schedule. The first schedule, second schedule, fourth schedule, fifth schedules, in the sixth schedule, seventh schedule, eighth schedule. Means in the schedule the what matter is given. You should know that the question may come. This question have come in the previous year examination. So we should know the point of view, the which type of the question had come and which type of the question will have come. Yeah, will be come, you can say that. Are you getting or not? So now let us see the question number next. Now let us see the question number 6. Very important question. You should know the decision gave the basic structure. You should so first of all read the question. The question is given here. The original structure of the Indian Constitution cannot be changed. The original structure means you can say the basic structure cannot be changed. In which of the following cases Supreme Court of India gave this verdict? Means in which case Supreme Court of India said that the original structure cannot be changed by the parliament. By the parliament. So in the Keswanand Bharati case, Supreme Court outlined that the basic structure cannot be changed, and this was the landmark decision by the Supreme Court. So you should know, here is the name of the case: Golaknath case, Minerva Mills case, Keswanand Bharati case, none of the above. So in the Keswanand Bharati case, Supreme Court outlined the basic structure of the Constitution, that the parliament cannot change. The basic structure cannot be changed by the parliament, and this was the landmark decision by the Supreme Court. So your answer is C. And very important question and a very important case. If you have the time, then also read the case of the Keswanand Bharati, and after that you can read these type of the case, the Golaknath, Minerva Mills. In this cases, some is the important fact. You will come that. You will find. So now let us see the next question, but now at this time I have discussed some important questions. So I hope you will comment on this type of the nature of the question, and the question came in the previous year, and the manner of the teaching, and not only the manner of the teaching, you are getting understand or not. The purpose of my teaching is that the question came in a previous year, you should know what is the nature of the previous year question, and which type of the fact are coming, which type of the fact have come in the previous year question, and this fact and this amendment and these type of the some important articles is very important for the future and also for the present examination, if you are going to give that exam, and if you are being to be a student of this preparation. So I hope you will be good, and good day to all of you. So thank you. I am Satyan Singh. Thank you very much.